Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, my number one is a game called Thunder Wolves on the Xbox 360.
The same shit you talked about?
I spoke about it last week. I played the trial.
The chopper game.
The chopper game, yeah. We stopped talking about it with you saying, who's got time to play Thunder Wolves? I do, boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you. It is. I absolutely loved it. It's I explained what it is last week. It's basically, I mean, it's very, very, very much a throwback. It's an isometric. No, it's not an isometric at all. It's reminiscent of Desert and Jungle Strike, but also reminiscent of Choplifter in how simplistic it is. And it feels. I mean, the games that it reminded me of were almost all on the Super Nintendo because it is so simple. You're just a chopper. There's a terrible story. It's the guns. Your guns don't overheat. You've got flares to distract from heat guided missiles that barely. They basically don't overheat either. You can use them constantly. The rockets replenish really quickly. It just wants you to cause absolute havoc. It's like those sequences that you happen across periodically in most action games, especially Call of Duty. They'll do a bit where you just gun a load of people down. It's like that non-stop, and it's really the controls are tight and it's fast enough that it could legitimately become a score attack favourite with people who are competitive, because it's really. I absolutely loved it, but I can't. It's difficult to put my finger on exactly what it is, but it does truly feel like a game from a different era. It's completely unconcerned with. There's no. It's like a Super Nintendo game. Those games, people who were making those games had no sort of quibbles about who they were making it for. They were making it for 8-year-old boys, and that was that. There's no fucking. We need to make this, or it needs to appeal to this lot, or it needs to. It's unashamedly juvenile and stupid and loud, and there's just constant. Very, very outdated, kind of sort of late 80s, early 90s sort of Metallica rip-off rock going throughout
Always
it.
up for that. All
of the characters just don't stop shouting. There's dumbass dialogue, like I quoted a bit last week. It's just terrible wisecracks. I didn't try it, but I will try it. There's a local co-op where one of you is a gunner and one of you fires the rockets and stuff. When you get multipliers, the text that comes up says "nice one, bro," or like "get some," or like "you rock," or "hella sick," whatever the fuck that means. It just comes. If it was a person, it would be 35 years old, still living at home, mollycoddled by his parents. He'd dress like Fred Durst, and he wouldn't be able to speak unless every sentence, before he could speak, he'd have to go, "Yeah, woo!" He'd be basically a flaming shithead. But if you compress that flaming shithead into a game, I will happily push his buttons, because I'm telling you. This is. I had an absolute blast, and it was. I did genuinely sort of have waves of nostalgia, because it felt like games that I know I played on the Super Nintendo. Not necessarily chopper games, but just. It's so. It really harks back to a different era, unashamedly stupid and sort of amped up and just rubbish.
I like unashamedly stupid things.
You should try the try. Everyone should try the try. Especially if you're of a certain age and you played stuff like this on the Super Nintendo. The cutscenes are hilarious. The cutscenes are. All of the characters are basically those little army men. The little guys from Toy Story, the little green people. Oh, yeah. That's how good the animation is. Not Toy Story. I mean, it is as if someone sort of motion captured one of those.
Yeah, sure.
It's performance-wise, it's a little bit iffy in places. There's a boost button that you can use. There's not really any cause to use it a lot of the time, but there's a boost button, and when you do that, and during some of these laughable cutscenes, the frame rate really chugs and sputters, and it sort of looks, it looks like it's going to crash sometimes. But during gameplay, it's actually fairly solid on the Xbox 360 anyway. Yeah, it's fun. It's a little bit too in love with Call of Duty, because some of the bits, like it'll periodically there'll be an AC-130 mission, and then there's even this bit where you're a sniper in a chopper sniping people, and you only have to shoot in the general area of where the people are, and you get a fucking headshot. It's so dumb, and I loved every second. But the thing is, all of that stuff, whatever, the controls are really tight, and you do genuinely feel like you're mastering something. One other problem is that it's very narrow. There's not any exploration at all. Go here, kill a load of shit. Go here, kill a load of shit. Occasionally, Choplifter style, you'll land down and pick people up, and it even looks like Choplifter. They sort of boop, boop, the way they jump onto the chopper, which was nice, because the Choplifter remake is nothing on this. This is far superior to it. Yeah, there's not a lot of exploration. You're in very, very confined areas, but periodically, quite frequently, a message will come up saying "Return to battle, return to battle." When you can't really leave the battle, so that seems like a glitch. But I think they're getting ready to patch it. So there you go. I had an absolute blast with it. It's 12 or 13 missions long, and it's really. I think you have to be of a certain age though, because it's things about it are just unacceptable these days.
Yeah.
Just the general shoddiness of some of the production, and just how, yeah. Yeah, and one other thing is that the main character is really fond of shouting, "I killed his ass," which is what I tend to.
See, it is you. I thought it sounded like you when you were describing him.
Exactly. That's what I shout when I'm playing Battlefield. So I was just like, "This is for me." Thunderwolves, man. I'm telling you, it's worth a fucking look. The trials on all PC, PSN, and Xbox. Just have a look. It's just really, really good dog shit.